I see playing Krzysztof Duda, the Indian #1 or the Polish #1 chess player, grandmaster. But we are going to see, if I understand this correctly, Nakamura Martinez. You know, that's really, really, really super cool. We can't miss that. So we are going to definitely covering this. I'm so interested in, and I can see Magnus playing Tuan Min Lei. We'll see what's about. I think they should be playing any second now. Arjun Duda, fine. It's fine. Fine by me. Speeches Championship round 16 or something. Let me see. Round. So I'm scrolling down the board here. Let me see the schedule. This is 25th. Yes. Oh, Nakamura Martinez, they play at 7:30. Okay, tomorrow is Magnus Carlsen, Min Lei, and Yanni Pomnishi, Nordebek. So now we've got Duda with Erigaisi, Speeches Championship. Oh man, Nakamura Martinez is something, definitely something to be seen. I thought they actually start at the same time, but actually probably they want to make a longer coverage. Definitely they want to make a longer coverage. So yes, yeah, that works fine. I think we should be multi-broadcasting now. If I got this message via Facebook, it should be okay. So tomorrow Magnus plays. Today Duda and Wesley. Let me see. Grish Chukali Reza and this guys. Aha. This is it. So this is the guys. They're supposed to be starting any second now, right? So let me see. How do we see it on our screen? Yeah, you could see the guys' names and everything. We'll try to cover this one. I guess they should be starting any moment now. Okay. Are we live here? I think we should be live here. Right. Until they start, I think we should be trying a quick puzzle ourselves, because I can't see any moves. I can't see nothing happening. Or maybe they just start a little bit later. It might be just a bit later starting. Not straight away. I mean, it's been announced. It's been announced. That's what they said. Let me see the games schedule. 4. Oh boy, not right now, like in 6 minutes from now, so to speak. It's 4 p.m. 4 p.m. So that means most definitely we can go for a puzzle or a puzzle rush or something like that. Okay, cool. Let's do a puzzle rush then. Let's do a puzzle rush. We're going for this guy. Am I black? Yeah, okay, cool. I'm white now. I'm black now. Ugh, the mouse. I need to buy another mouse, I guess. This guy doesn't work nicely. And another checkmate back rank. Rook, I suspect. This mouse doesn't work. Oh, come on. That will do. I think that should be in order. It's pinned, isn't it? Yeah, that's not a good mouse for speedy stuff. What? Oh, God. Right. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm winning the queen, actually, and that should be okay. Should be winning long term. that should do the trick of taking material from our opponent. It's not really a checkmate. Rook. This and this and c7 checkmate. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we should be winning now the rooks and winning down the road somewhere. Okay. Oh, winning the queen ultimately with this fork here. Let's see if that works. It does. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, I'm winning. Oh, but I'm pinned. Lie me. I'll try this and this. Now winning a what? Wait. Let's take it in this way. The mouse doesn't work, guys. I need a new mouse. Okay, so let's see if our guys started. Arjun and Duda. Later on would be Hikaru and Martinez. That's definitely something to be seen. Have our guys started the game though? Still 3 more minutes. Eric guys and Krzysztof Duda. So let me say hello to my friends via TikTok. So you're welcome, guys, to be covering together with me this event. Eric guys, he will be facing Krzysztof Duda now, and later on would be Hikaru Nakamura playing versus Jose Martinez. So those of you interested in chess, that's definitely one heck of an event to be witnessing, and we'll try to discuss as much as we can about what we see. Okay. It is announced to be starting at 4 p.m. In the meantime, we can try and do some other puzzles. Okay, let's give it another shot. 3, 2, 1, go. I'll try to do the click rather than dragging the pieces because the mouse is very funny nowadays. It's a weird mouse. Wait a minute. Am I white or black? Okay. What am I doing? Okay. Check here and mate on G2. Mate on G2 again. Mate on F7. Here, not a mate, but would have been mate now. Mate in 2 or 3. Deflecting the knight from defending H2. What am I here? White. Checkmate because kings are in opposition. What am I? White or black? Okay. Oh yeah, I'm winning the rook. Mate on F7. Oh yeah. Oh, come on. I must have missed something, didn't I? Back rank. Back rank. Perennial theme. What am I here? White to move. Okay. Oh, I'm in check, for Christ's sake. I'm in check. Yeah, but I can't take because if I take... I messed it up too much. The guy is pinned. What am I? Black? Okay. Oh yeah, the guy... Whoa. And this way should be working. That should do the trick for now. What am I? Okay. What? Bang. I think the queen is trapped here. Well, okay. What? What? Hey, I've got two minor pieces. No, wait. No, I'm defending with the king, ultimately. Is there a fork somewhere here? No, 26 again. Come on. All right, guys, shall we go back and see if Duda had started the game? It's 1 past 4, 1 minute past 4. So for 4 p.m. announced to be Erigaisi, Arjun Erigaisi with Krzysztof Duda, and later on Nakamura facing Martinez. So that would be 7 p.m. GMT. Hey, they started. All right, that's been announced on my multi-broadcast. That's what we are covering now, my friends. Sicilian defense, canal attack. And he replied d6 after bishop b5. That is something. 4 minutes, though, because they're playing now pretty much blitz. They doing blitz, ladies and gents, which I've got a, sort of like makes me feel slightly sad because these guys are so good. And I am enjoying when they play and produce the best ideas they're able to. And I'd like them to see them confronting each other with a longer time control. But hey. So now Erigaisi Duda, or Duda Erigaisi. Later on at 7 p.m. would be Martinez with Hikaru Nakamura. And I've heard Hikaru was a very cool chap, and I think he paid for Martinez to travel and to be able to confront him, which is like kind of like sponsorship, and it shows that Nakamura is quite a generous guy, and that's with his fellow challengers, and that is super cool from his part. Black to play now. Oh, they changed the colors. I think the brown one was more favorable than the greenish, but hey, we'll dance with what we got now. Okay. Erigais's turn to move. He will be making a battery here. He will move the rooks over to the B file. I'm pretty sure about that. Will we see, I wonder, bishop d2, bishop d2, bishop g2, this kind of ideas? I don't know what else. Bishop d2, bishop g2 makes sense. Is there anything else? I think that kind of like attacks the queen with tempo, bishop g2, but I did highlight, my friends, I did highlight these two moves. Now, the battery, exactly as I said, I think we can understand this. Black rook's battery on the B file. And now question is if we're going to see bishop d2 or king h. What did he play? Knight g5 did instead. I wonder, because something like this, he wants to come in closer and looking at this and at this. And if bishop takes, obviously he is going to take with a bishop, thus connecting the rooks, the two white rooks. So quite an active approach here. And also notice the bishop on g2, how beautifully it looks on this diagonal. Thus, taking on e5 is a little bit undoable now, my chess friends. You can't move the knight on c6 because you're gonna drop a piece. You're gonna lose material. Hence, you're gonna lose the game. So the knight on c6, my friends, is pinned by the bishop to the rook. And these arrows are very good because it shows us that actually that is the intention. That is Polish Grandmaster's intention is Queen h5, which I think it's quite a move. And every guy has to think if he's going to do g6, if he's going to do h6. If you do g6, you're weakening the dark squares around the black king. So you may very well play h6 perhaps, because kicks the knight away. So yeah, if you guys think differently, do let me know. I'm happy to be discussing this one together, my friends. Yeah. What did he play? Bishop g5, exactly, which I did mention, and bishop now takes. Necessarily, you're taking back. Okay, double attack on e5 and bishop f4 to support e5 again. Rook b2 infiltrating the rooks over to the second rank, h5, because he wants to challenge the black pawns, protecting the black king, shielding, let's say, the black king. And I guess he's still considering a move like perhaps queen to g. Knight now took. A little bit weird to having the knight pinned to the queen. Slightly weird here, as you can see. But there is a weird tempo check that might happen. h6 going directly. Dark squares are fundamentally weakened. Dark squares are a perennial weaken square. I don't know if white can play queen a4 attacking a6 or something else. It's getting really sharp now, my friends. This knight also covers those squares, so you can't say you're going to play the queen or anything. Queen a4, there you go. There you go, queen a4. I'm happy because I managed to actually indicate the moves that the super grandmasters do play. And I'm happy to see that, my chess friends. And thanks for joining the stream, guys. So now we are witnessing Krzysztof Duda, Arjun Erigaisi. Later on at 7 p.m., we're going to see Nakamura versus Jose Martinez. That is something I'm looking forward to. Queen to d6 being played to protect a6 from the white queen, obviously. So I'm just telling you guys everything I can understand from the moves that they play. Also, I noticed there is a little bit of a pressure, but the knight is pinned, so you can't just go grab that pawn. Unless you want to lose the queen, so yeah. The problem now is that Duda is on 1 minute 20 sec, whereas Arjun is 2 minutes 14. So we could say, let's just actually, this is a bullet happening right now. My understanding is that Krzysztof wants to play rook a to e1 with a serious pressure on that knight. I'm not sure f6 does any good stuff for black here because he's going to end up. Okay, that's a pin. Ladies and gents, that's a pin. Can we play king h2? I'm asking for a friend. Can we play king h2? The rook is pinned, knight is pinned, true, but also the white rook on e1 is pinned in terms that you can't move it up the board because the king will be in check. And that's the very reason I'm speculating about a king moving on over to the second rank. But now queen makes a double attack on the black rook on b1, which is defended only once. Queen attacks, rook attacks, so black has to decide. It's conditioner, you really have to decide. Because black rook going to be captured, therefore, yeah. I was just about to say, as a potential idea, rook b2, queen a4 back. What is Duda going to play if Erigaisi does rook b1 again? Because you know, guys, when a position is being threefold repeated, actually it's being declared a draw. So yeah, and now g5 asks the question, are you going to take my guy or are you going to move away? That's question. That is a question. Or are you going to take g? Yes, that's exactly what I thought he's going to play. Bishop c1 attacks the rook. And needless to say, guys, that we got a pressure on d3 from the knight. So got to be careful about that one. Rook b4 attacking queen with tempo and queen d1 defending d3 from the knight. So that pawn on d3 is safe for now. Rook being hit by the pawn beautifully. You're going to go e2 because I really fail to see where else you can go. There you go. There you go. Bishop pinned. Rook b1, queen moved out of the pin, still providing defense for the d3 white pawn. It is very sharp and beautiful. I can't even make a prediction of who's going to win or something because the game is still disputing. There is a backward weak pawn on d3. This guy here. So we could say this is the weakness for white. All right. This kind of weakness for black is that this guy is hanging. The g5, attackable by the queen with tempo. That is the reason Arjun decided to play f4, takes, knight goes on g. I think we might still see this move, namely f takes g5. We might see that idea. Although, knight f. Oh man, oh man, oh boy, oh boy. Are we going to see a check? Rook e8, check, rook takes, rook takes. Nope. He wanted to give a discover check. Now it's a check. This, oh my God. What do you play? What do you play? What do you play? I wonder queen c2 if would have been, because queen c2 would have attacked the rook and also bishop would have hit the queen. This is absolutely mental. Check. My God, I wonder if he missed an opportunity, or maybe I'm seeing unreal things. My days. He got flagged, unfortunately. Unfortunately, for Krzysztof Duda, he got flagged. Very, very painful. Every single fraction of a second matters so much. There you go, my friends. This is such a shame for Krzysztof Duda to have gotten flagged here. But it's very, very difficult. Incredibly difficult, but a superb game nonetheless. Absolutely superb. Gorgeous game. And there you go, guys. Let's have a look here at the second one. Yeah, just 5 minutes they've got on their clock. Absolutely a pain. There we go. See now white, Duda, black. Now the bishop would look good on g5. I'll try and explain as they play. White to play anyway. You're going to take or you're going to play bishop h3. I'm not keen to trading on c6, although bishop g5, which I did say previously, that the bishop on c1 should move on to g5. You're making a pin here. Bishop drops very elegantly, so you're not going to do nothing. Is it going to be some rook a or rook f to d and maybe the other rook over to c? You know, it could be rook fd1 and then rook ac, because you want your rooks, my chess friends, you want your rooks on open files or semi-open files. All right, so rooks should be brought up in the center of the board, dominating and attacking on open files. And of course, developing pieces is absolutely paramount, no doubt about it. But the position looks like it's getting slightly drawish. So again, rook fd, rook ac. We might see, there you go. Yeah, I was just about to say that the queen goes to safety and goes out of the d file, and he went over to a. Pressure on the f6, but it smells like a draw. Takes, knight takes, queen takes, pawn takes. This is a draw-ish position, ladies and gents. I don't know if you will concur, if you have the same idea, the same understanding or not. You're free to communicate your thoughts, guys, if I'm missing something along the way. Queen here prevents black from castling, but black hit castle because they blocked with the queen. White refused to trade, but white queen is looking over to attacking a7 undefended black pawn. He wants to double up the rooks and taking complete control over the d file, especially if he does the rook f to d. So that will be totally belonging to the white pieces, the d column or the d file. Again, still pressure over the a7 from the white queen. Let's see what black chooses to do. Would it be natural to play rook c or something else like b6, namely? We can still debate on this one a little bit. If this or that. We can debate on that a bit. 4 minutes for Krzysztof. I think he got the very painful lesson from the previous game and he tries to move a bit faster than his opponent. Okay, he plays h6 now, and exactly as I anticipated, rook after d, white completely claiming and having the d file. Yeah, I did say including rook after c8, and my question is if white actually grabs the pawn on a7 or not. Because after this, you may have rook d2 to d7 attacking. There you go. There you go. I'm covering quite a few ideas. Yeah, a2 could be taken potentially, queen defending, and more importantly, attacking the rook on a2. So rook on a2 has to move, or black would have to defend them. I'm not sure which one's going to be first, or maybe rook goes back on a8, but that's a bit painful, isn't it? But if black decides to play rook c8 to a8, it's like they've given up on the c file. Is it good? Is it bad? We might see also rook d2 d7. This is definitely something you need to take into account as well. So that does matter indeed. Now, on the other hand, if black plays rook c8 to a8, they might just very well play rook a1, trading off more rooks. It starts step by step to looking like a draw, the current game. It starts looking like a draw, my friends. Okay. Thank you for stopping by, my chess enthusiasts friends. That is good. We could watch this superb games together. I will do my best later on when, okay, so he played rook and immediately rook d7, exactly as I anticipated, queen f6, slightly pressurizing here onto b2. Okay. Queen and rook do not allow yet rook to d8. I wonder if queen b6 would be playable here. Also, you could take potentially the pawn, right? Exactly right. And now, ladies and gents, we got a passed pawn and queen currently attacking. Rook goes for this guy. Remember, if you play e3, actually black's winning very quickly in 2 moves, checkmate. So you can't push the e2 to e3, because if you do that, black takes f2 check, then you're going to move the king and checkmate on h2 coming. That's it. Game over. So you can't push the pawn. You got to find different resources. Is it queen? Is it no, check can't be played because queen f6 covers d8. So you can't play this. Queen a8 though. And now, oh my days, that's a fork that forces black to play queen, blocking the check. Otherwise, you're in deep trouble. White is going to win, I'm afraid, because white is having a passed pawn. My God, he didn't take it. What if queen takes and king takes? You've got a passed pawn, though. If you had placed the rook behind the pawn and just push, 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 push. Oh, man. That's getting really, really funny now. Anyway, queen over to e5 protects the pawn on b2, so the black rook can't really take it. And queen on e5 also defends e2 against the black rook. The black rook can't take the pawn. Okie dokie. So that is something indeed. This guy protected, this guy protected. Queen is slightly overworked. Slightly overworked because now the queen defends both pawns. And there you go. Double attack on this guy. What are you going to play? Are you going to play e3 now? It's relatively safe, but after this move, I'm not sure anymore. I'm not sure anymore. f3 though, creating a very nice barrier against the black queen. Black queen under attack, they've got to play. What do you do after h3 though? Double attack. How do you defend? Maybe with the king f so you don't expose your king to dark square diagonal checks and stuff. But on the other hand, you are not going to be able to stop rook c1 if black chooses to do so. But if diagonal checks are what scares you, probably you should go for king f1 to stay away from the dark square, and at the same time the king defending. He went very bravely, king f2, defending e2 twice, and he says, I'm not scared if you want to check me because I'm going to take your queen. Queen, though, being attacked, where do you go? I guess you got to drop it right here. And then black is going to take b2, and then, ladies and gents, we're going to have a draw. Oh, no way, Jose. No way, Jose. What are you doing? Still a draw, though. Okay, there's no progress here, fellas. There is no progress to be made. 4 pawns. No, exactly right. As you can see for yourselves, guys, this is a very, very dead draw. And they've started straight away. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Sicilian defense canal attack yet again. It's the second time. Look at this move, bishop f1. Are you going to, okay, h3 attacking, queen takes. They play very quickly now. It's like they're playing a bullet, frankly. Yes, I'm gonna put the, okay, just 2 seconds. I'm gonna put a stop to this mic for a second, guys. Right. Where were we? Where were we, my friends? I had to communicate with some members of the household, a couple of ideas, impromptu challenges. Were they? Rook g8. Rook d8, rook d8. That means the black king will not get castled short, because rook g8 means that the black king cannot castle at this stage. So, are we going to see a long castling? Hard to say. Very hard to say. Black normally in the Sicilians goes with b5 as well, so that would be a very big expansion over to the queen side with a6, b5. White takes a lot of space on the king side now. They only need to develop their pieces. I reckon bishop e3, natural square, knight b to d2. So you've got to develop your pieces. White, black, doesn't matter. Pieces need to be developed, my chess friends. g5, challenging now. Rook would be hitting, defended by the knight. Black rook on g8 attacks along the g file, and knight supports the rook. Definitely something here. So that's what is. That's a good question that black actually addresses white here. So he took pressure on the pinned piece. You can't take for the same reason. Queen would be captured by the black rook and moves away from the g file, dangerous g file, because that's where the black rook is. And now queen makes pressure on the pawn, which black can capture with the pawn now if they want to. Pawn takes and attacks the queen again with tempo. And you have to move the queen again. Question is if you take with a rook or you take with a pawn. Actually, this is a good question. We can debate on this one. Would you take with the rook or would you take with the pawn? If you take with the rook, you're dropping the h6 pawn for sure. If you take with a pawn, you still have a chance to keep pushing the g5 black pawn to g4, and thus just simply challenging. But there is another beautiful resource Arjun just found. Knight h7. The white pawn still pinned. If you played this, I wonder. But this guy is hanging, isn't it? Also, the bishop looks towards the g5. White took very confidently. Bishop takes. Bishop takes. We might have king h7, amongst others. I'm not sure I covered all the possibilities. Or we just very well ignore it. Can you play something else? Should you play something else? Should you develop? Should you play bishop e2? There is also this idea, but that's too crazy. Queen takes. You're not going to do nothing. Queen h5, actually. Queen h5. Knight bringing itself closer to attacking. King goes away from the g file where the black rook is. It's a very wise stuff. Don't keep your king or your queen on the file where the opponent's rooks position themselves. So move the king away. That's a very wise idea. Playing king far away, not far away, just away from the g file where some frictions had just been announced. Queen b6, which I said like 10 minutes ago, which is not true, like just 5 minutes ago, I think. Queen to b6 wants to say you're not going to play your bishop anytime soon because b2 is hanging. So b2 is hanging. Also, knight on e5, pressure on this guy here. Knight a3. He developed the knight. Probably does he want to play this? Castle long, my friends. Castle long. Which I also said at some point. Long castling. In this canal attack ideas, we might be having black rooks playing one rook on the g and one rook on the h file, looking menacingly down the board here where the white king is. So it's quite an incredibly sharp. Looks to me, my friends, that the black king is safer for the time being than the white king. The white king is seriously threatened by all sorts of tactics and sacrifices. Knight h3 definitely a move to keep in mind. And I also like the black queen's position, which sort of prevents the bishop from moving somewhere, if I may say that. Although the bishop can take on g5 for tempo and eliminate one of the minor pieces willing to sacrifice itself and open up, ripping open the h file. So, you know, it's a question if white would be happy to take on g5 with tempo, also threatening e7. And also you get this knight, which is very dangerous. I'm pretty sure Erigaisi would consider at some point to sacking the knight on h3, just in order to open up the h file, the g, and increasing the attacking opportunities specifically for the two black rooks. So that might be the case. Bishop g5, maybe. Maybe. Knight c4, maybe. He pushed, though, in the center. Okay. Also, I'm not sure. Okay, now it looks absolutely fine playing knight c4. Looks absolutely fine. Why not? Knight c4. I don't think it's a bad one. Bishop e3. Taking on b2 is not a good stuff anymore because I'm attacking the queen with tempo, knight c4, after they play a or something, and I'm getting my own rook on the b. So what did black intended, and they still probably want to do to white on the h, respectively, g columns, that's exactly what white does for against the black king. And I guess that one, this one, this one. Blackstone, by the way. Is this guy a little bit poisonous? Do you open or not? I think you don't want to open. You want to push this guy forwards. Or can you play bishop d3 first? No, you can't play bishop d3. You gotta take, or... He did take, though. He did take. Okay. This pawn does not allow the white knight to play onto c4, stopping it. It's a natural stopper for the knight. You can't get there. Is this a good move? But knight's gonna jump over here and then here. And then you just lost the queen if you move the queen over to h. So he goes for a queen's trade, avoiding further complications. The problem again for Duda, I noticed, guys, Yeah, exactly as I said, always put the rooks or your opponent's king or queens are. Especially if it's an open file or a semi-open file, get your rooks in action because rook in a corner doesn't do anything. Always good to getting your rooks on open file. So that is very good indeed. Rook a to c, knight on c6 is pinned currently. Okay, knight on a3 is a little bit embarrassed because knight on a3 is not very happy currently. Also, you can't play b5 because there is the a6 pawn. Or maybe you're going to play later. Or maybe you want to plan something like bishop takes a6. That looks really, really appealing, my friends. Knight, bishop a6, exactly as I said it. Duda just played it. The problem for Duda is that he's got only 10 seconds and running down and down. He already got flagged once, and the first game probably he kind of lost it because due to time. So now bishop takes on b7. Knight is pinned currently, but you could take with a queen, I gather. Is getting really, really funny. Oh my God, what a crazy game. The bishop desperately defends against the h2 checkmate, but Erigaisi gets the second rook in action. This is very, very dramatic game. It is so sharp, the bullet chess that these guys are playing at this very second. It is incredibly challenging and very sharp indeed. Look at this. This is absolutely monumental. Jesus, my God. Check and the knight being sort of hit, bishop defended by the rook. There is possible. Yes, this is amazing. It's a checkmate coming, fellas, because king is in check is checkmate actually. Notice how the king does not have any other option but just to play over to the A file, in which case white rook goes e8 over to a8, and that is simply checkmate, my friends. Absolutely insane bullet chess. Happy for young Krzysztof Duda to have won. That could have gone either way. That was absolutely mental bullet. Is just crazy bullet. My days. 1.5, you can read on the screen now, guys. We got 1.5 to 1.5, and I reckon they will be playing any minute, any second now. Probably they get a break, either toilet break or coffee break or something. I think I'm gonna pour myself more beverage, and we're gonna keep an eye on the next round they're going to play, which is practically blitz that very soon becomes bullet. Reminding you guys that later on 7 p.m. GMT would be Nakamura versus Alcantara, Jose Martinez. So that's definitely something. But now let's keep an eye on another round. Beautiful, splendid games, blitzes that is. They start as blitzes, but then they become bullet. So you don't need to take the knight on f6 when your opponent challenges you with h6. You just maintain the pressure. You don't take if you don't have a very solid reason, because you're generating tension. You impose a conditioning bishop to b4. Seyrawan attack after the name of Yasser Seyrawan. Knight bd2, blocking the check from the bishop. And white develops, black develops, g5, breaking the pin finally. Bishop to g3, also addressing the d2 pressure, and also the bishop on g3. Knight on d2 is pinned. White needs to engineer some stuff to get away, or maybe a3 to forcing the bishop to either take or run away. If they run away, they're actually getting in trouble after b4. You are going to be winning a piece. Therefore, I think a3 would force black to take on d2, if I see this one correctly, my friends. He plays b6 with the obvious intent to simply getting bishop to g7 for sure. a3 forcing the pieces to do trades. Bishop f8, very interestingly. Now he changed the route for the bishop. Bishop g7, attacking along this dark square diagonal. We might see e3 or e4 grabbing more space. Queen to c2, natural square to getting your queen into. I wonder if castle long, but I'm not fully convinced. e3, we did say about e3. I did say that. e3, make space for the bishop to play. Bishop g7, also I did mention this. Now you could play bishop d3. I think bishop e2 is just way too passive. There you go. We've got a nice battery. Queen and bishop, queen e7. Black doesn't communicate very clearly what they're going to do with the king. It could be knight c6 and then castle long. Maybe very well. But then we're going to run into b4s, a4s, and a5, challenging the fortress for the black king. Short castle, I think it's completely out of the question. A castle long for white, which does make a lot of sense. I'm not sure about the short castling though. Why? Because white is enjoying a very dangerous battery, queen and bishop, and the white rook is looking very scaringly. So knight c6, which I did say, and now Arjun doesn't give a moment of respite to black, pushing the pawn and challenging the black knight. If you take, obviously, white's going to take back, again asking the knight, what are you going to do? We could play knight f3, bishop takes, and the other knight. We definitely can address this thing in this fashion. We'll see, we'll see. Or maybe you want to play knight d4? No, he took, exactly as I said, knight f3 now makes a lot of sense, a lot of sense. He took first. If black takes in this fashion, we've got the rook also already claimed the d file. So black has to react to this. You can't just ignore it. You will have to take with something. If you take notice, my friends, if black takes back with the f, the g6 becomes a massive, massive liability. If you take with the pawn on the d, you might be exposing yourself to this sort of attacks combined with the rook over to the d file. So this is a very delicate moment. Or you take with the queen, which would be responded, I guess, with something like bishop f5. And a bit of pressure. So he had to take back. It's not a question of, do I take? You had to take. Now, are we going to see queen? No, he played bishop here, wanting to trade off and also queen to attack and making it difficult for black. Bishop to e4 now. Now the black bishop on b7 is a bit painful now because it's behind the pawn. And the white bishop on e4 is actually way, way happier. This is the moment if black wants to castle long, but no more possible because the white rook covers the d8. No more long castling available for black here. This is a challenge. He castles short. Madness. Are we going to see at some point during the game knight takes g5? Or are we going to see rook first and then rook dh and then pawn break and second exchange on g5? Very likely. Very likely. He does play something along this idea because rook h3 will be followed by rook dh. There you go. There you go. Exactly as I had indicated, my friends. Rook dh1. I guess we might be seeing something like knight g5 very, very soon. After this guy takes, we may have a check here. King runs away. And then we may have rook h8, bishop takes, rook takes check, king to g7. It's getting really funny. Perhaps queen c3 is getting really, really, really funny and incredibly sharp. Again, Eric guys, he enjoys 3 minutes. But Krzysztof Duda, as per usual, I would say, apparently he goes into time issue. Queen played on f6 with the sole purpose of defending against any possible pawn break. If white manages to play and somehow open up the h-file, I think black is in big trouble. Black does an effort to get the rooks over to the D file and at least trying desperately to create a counterattack, some counterplay with rook A, and maybe there is something, but really, I don't know. Rook F3, beautifully hitting the queen. Queen needs to go back. Or play E5. Okay. Can we go back and push F4, or is it just a bit too much? Because if you push F2 to F4, you're weakening the E3, so to speak. If you play a check first, is that a big deal? If you play a check, king's going to go on F8. Obviously, you're not going to go on H because there is a white rook there, so you don't want to do that. And now there you go. We've got a knight sacrifice. Knight takes C6. Not a knight sacrifice, apologies, because there is double attack on this guy. It's no sacrifice. He's doing great. But by taking C6, you might be subjecting the C file to some dangerous batteries formed by the two black rooks. And also you've got the bishop looking this way. It is not an easy game. It is another very sharp bullet, and it's so difficult to finding the right one. Battery, though, on the D file. Battery on the D file. Takes the bishop, queen takes the bishop. Okie dokie. If you move the rook, G2 might be captured by the queen. E4 being played, stopping the queen's control over to the over to G2 square and things. Also stopping perhaps F5 to coming down the board, I reckon. Okay. Right, and also allowing some circulation of the rook along the third rank, if that would be the case. Knight has to go. Safely defended twice. Where else can you go? He wants to play C3 and B5. Queen attacks the... Oh my days, he sacked it. I think white is toast a little bit. I think white is toast a little bit, guys. I think the black queen is more versatile and grabs more weaknesses. That's not going to be nothing. I think black's going to win this because I know there is a mathematical, quite a decent balance in between, you would say, two rooks and one queen. But the two rooks, the position is not very clear. And the black king can always play h7 if anything happens on the back rank. And black is enjoying a super dangerous bishop and an incredibly versatile black queen, which would attack the white queen, the white king from all directions. And there you go, weakness after weakness after weakness. And this guy is going to make it even more difficult for the white king because it's going to come down. And the bishop just everything covering on the dark squares, and the knight is pinned. Hello, Yash. Yeah. The black king is way more safer than the white king. Yes, you are correct, my friend. And the black queen is so versatile. Yes, he's got a problem with the seconds, Krzysztof Duda, I noticed. But if he keeps his nerves and doesn't mess it up massively, he should be able to win. There is pawn majority on the king side for black. It's 4 black pawns versus 2 white pawns. It's an incredibly strong bishop, and there is a nightmare of a pawn coming down any time now. And there is checks. There is like a billion checks everywhere. You know, there is a billion checks everywhere. And look how beautifully he gets the bishop now. I guess you can play the bishop here. Exactly. This is just gorgeous. And the bishop, I think, wants to play right here on b4, making it almost impossible to touch those guys. There you go. There you go. I guess he wants to play back rank and go for the black king in this fashion, but I think he should be absolutely okay. Let's see how Duda is going to keep checking this white king, although the rooks cover the D, respectively the C, but the white rook is on pre, and the king itself played for defending. There's more check coming if Black Queen wants to. Nicely. Taking and taking and coming down. Check. We did say that. Yeah, that's cool. Nice. Oh my god, it's so exposed, the White King. It's so, that's it. White is finished. White is finished. Absolutely fabulous game. Fabulous game by these two guys. I absolutely adore the chess they playing, guys. Let's look quickly at the next game because they just played automatic. They played quite quickly. Just remind the guys later on about 7 p.m.ish GMT, we're gonna have Hikaru Nakamura versus Jose Martinez. So that's gonna be something. They're gonna be something of legend. I really look forward Nakamura versus Jose Martinez. Really looking forward to that one. Yeah. Okie dokie. So are they going to be moving? Because we've got 2.5 to 1.5. I wonder if in order to be winning this round, you need to having just a minimum of 2.5 or you need to. Yes, that is correct. Jose Martinez is Jospem on chess.com. That is correct. Is the guy that Kramnik implied that he might be getting unorthodox assistance during the games, which had been proven actually unfounded because he proved it over the board as well. So kudos to Jose Martinez, and also very nice gesture by Hikaru Nakamura, who I think sponsored the costs for Jose Martinez travel to be facing him face to face. This is a very beautiful sportsmanship from Hikaru Nakamura, if that is true indeed. I think I read an article these days about this stuff. I hope I'm correct. I hope I'm saying correct stuff. Yeah, it's more like a drama nowadays. Yeah. Alrighty. So they are supposed to be starting. Let me go left click just a bit, guys. Results. Wait a second. 2.5, 1.5. Here we go. So they still going to be playing, I guess, only active games. Let me just put the active games. So this is the match. Hopefully we're going to see later on together, my chess friends, Hikaru Martinez. Hikaru and Martinez, indeed. Tomorrow, by the way, guys, friendly reminder, tomorrow is going to be Magnus Carlsen with the Vietnamese, with the Vietnamese Grandmaster Tuan Min Le. I don't know how to pronounce this. We got this guys too, Ali Reza Grishchuk, absolutely fabulous. Nepomniachtchi Abdustorov, wow. Just wow. Look at the fixtures. They were supposed to be starting. They do blitz, frankly, 5 minutes. It's just crazy short. Not short of ideas, but it's crazy short as time for me at least. I'm a slow player, and although I may think good ideas, when I'm myself in a situation to playing bullet chess, I really do not perform incredibly well. So I'm more like enjoying rapid or longer time control so I can like sit down properly, think about what I'm doing, choosing the best possible stuff to be played. So yeah, should we try a very quick puzzle? I don't know when the guys are going to be resuming their match. I refreshed the page, but I don't see any piece being moved. Maybe they got a short break or something. It might be. If you go chess.com, you're gonna find it is the Speed Chess Championship. What is it? Speed Chess Championship something. And you're going to find, let me show you on the screen, you're going to find here the schedule. You see? So there you go. You go to schedule and you're going to see 25th of July. This, guys, you could toggle on the event local time, your time. So the computer is going to tell you the time in your respective country. And also today, guys, you're going to see Nakamura with Martinez. And tomorrow, guys, look at this beauty. Tomorrow, Magnus Minlay. And also tomorrow, Nepomniachtchi Abdusattorov. Guys, come on. This is a treat. This is a treat. Speed Chess Championship 2024. I think it's organized by chess.com. You're not going to find it on other chess platforms, that is. You're going to find it just on chess.com, organized by themselves. So that's absolutely, absolutely amazing event, and I'm enjoying watching these guys play. And I'm happy when I actually managed to anticipate a lot of the stuff they themselves play. I think it's just great. Okay, shall we do a quick puzzle, guys? I've no idea when they're resuming. Like, no idea. Okay, let's do a 1 minute, 2 minutes puzzle. Either we do it or not, I don't know. Queen here would be a massive check, right? Queen g5. Bishop h3. Queen. Hey, I'm not doing puzzle rush. What the hell am I rushing it that much? What am I doing? Oh boy, there is a bishop here. What am I doing? I can't do a damn thing. How do I attack the king, though? How do I attack the king? What do I do? What check have I gotten here? Do I take the pawn? Do I do like what? Queen takes a2, you guys guess? Queen takes a2? Is there anything stronger than this? Oh, wait a minute. Do I make a pin, though? Rook a8 to c8. And then I can play queen respectively here. That looks good. So in order to play queen e3, I have to make sure the knight is pinned, which I don't think in itself is a bad move. I think it's quite good, right? Let's play that. I'm going to play rook a to c8. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Hey, you know, I tried. Maybe. Oh, man, I was so lucky. I was so lucky. Whew. Okay. So have the boys start. Oh man, they just started for like 20 seconds whilst I was doing that crazy puzzle. They had started already. Knight to e4. Okay. Knight c3, knight bd2, you name it. Hell, I think we might have even this knight e4. No, knight c3, that makes sense. Double attack on this guy, attacking the knight, take with the queen to preserve the pawn structure nice and beautifully pawns connected. So queen takes c3 for the sake of your pawn structure. Queen captures c3. Nice and beautiful. Knight b6, double pressure on the c4 pawn. You may close it off with this move. Or knight e4 or knight d2. Yeah, well, they just moved it very fast because, of course, it is blitz. Soon to be bullet, so you don't have a choice. You could take a bunch of space with this kind of c5 move. That is true. And maybe you can challenge later on with e4. The bishop on c8 suffers tremendously because this guy is blocked. So they will have to, oh yeah, nice, beautiful, expansive pawn storm on the king side by black. What a superb match. What a superb match here. India #1 with Poland's #1 chess players versing each other here. A lot of space taken by black. A lot of space. I like this idea, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, it's good to take in as much space as possible, but no, he developed a rook to the c. Maybe what? Because if you're taking here, black would say thank you very much. So you don't really want to take, right? You want to push this guy? I don't think you want to take the pawn, right? It's just too much power you're giving to black, especially after knight d5. And that makes sense. That does make sense. A lot of sense. If you take en passant, I think white's going to take with a bishop. If you don't take en passant, take with this guy, knight's going to take, pressurizing this. And maybe playing c5. Now I think we should take space if I'm correct. Or maybe you take first on d. They take, then this. Hard to say. Hard to say. You could take, but okay, bishop h3, pressure on this guy. e6 check, winning a pawn. Beautiful. Beautiful choice by Krzysztof Duda. Of course, bishop f7, queen e7 would just simply defend. There you go. You can still grab some space with this move. Maybe, but also they could do this. But you're fixing a weakness, you see, guys. When you play something like e5, you're fixing this guy as a forever weakness. So maybe not a bad idea after all to playing e4 to e5. You're fixing the black pawn on e6 as an always weakness. So as long as you keep the bishop attacking that weakness, it should be absolutely cool, should be absolutely fine. Yeah, totally. 3 minutes 20, 2 minutes 20. Krzysztof tends to getting low on time. I don't know what to say about this. He goes low on time. I mean, lower than the other guy, that's for sure. Or lower than Eric Geise here. Now it's Arjun's turn. Okay, queen b4 being played. It is another beautiful game. Well, they're all beautiful and highly instructive, all of them. Queen to b4, I think amongst others, wants to say I'm going to push the pawn, you're going to move the knight, and I'm going to take b7, and Arjun just played rook a7 straight away, which defends b7 after knight goes to safety, following c5. So following c5, knight b7, and b7 is no longer takeable by the queen because rook a7 defends it. And then we can debate some other ideas. Look at this beautiful move, gf. King goes in a corner because we're going to viciously attack the black king via the g file, and perhaps you're going to make a rook battery. And that is definitely something. Queen has to keep an eye on this guy, so you can't freely say, I'm going to move the queen. There you go, rook g1. We did say that, and I think we're going to see more like rook g2, then rook c1 over to g1. I think we're definitely going to see something like this. Very likely indeed. Very likely indeed. We could also see, that is interesting. Can we push the pawn now? I think it's the right moment to play e4 to e5. Pushes the bishop in this array. Probably gonna get here, but I'm still happy because I might be having access at some point after I'm making a rook battery on the g file. I might be, if bishop that is goes here. We actually see, and even if the bishop goes here, I can still play this though. This is gorgeous. Come on, you having a lot of good ideas here. After rook e8, which I'm not sure. There you go, rook g5, rook g2. I did say rook g2. Again, a bishop to e7 could be responded with c4 to c5. And you're attacking the knight twice with the pawn and the queen. Queen defends once. That's a good question to black in case they decide to do that. Another good idea for white is rook c1 to g. That's really something. Knight had played already. Hey, I love the e5. I think it must be considered. You're taking a lot of space. No, he traded on d5 though. Because what? Does he want to do something along the f2 a7? Hmm. I wonder. I really, really wonder. Oh, oh, that's my TikTok friends. Yeah. Thank you very much to them for joining the stream every now and then. Appreciate. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, guys, if you haven't done it so. Or follow me on TikTok if you are on TikTok visiting. That's fine. That enables the bishop on h3 to being really, really active and double attack on the knight. And probably you have to refuse the trade. You got to go for this. I wouldn't trade, my friends. There you go. Queen f4. Queen f4. Bishop is pinned because I'm going to take this guy. Looks to me white is doing an incredibly good job, even if you consider rook to c8. But now queen has to go to safety. Probably here. I don't know. You say it. Or maybe queen f5. We can discuss. We can definitely discuss about this stuff. For white is incredibly good the c8 square because you got a rook on c1 and the bishop on h3. So you definitely can look at that. Okay, queen c7 though. He decided queen c7. Queen c7, which by the way also attacks the bishop on f7. So the white queen hits the bishop on f7. If queen takes, obviously rook takes back immediately. Okay. Knight, black knight wants to come here and attack these two white pieces at the same time. He moved at least one of the pieces, also pressure on this, together with the rook. The bishop is here for the time being, but we don't know for how long that bishop will stay on g8. And maybe at some point you can get another rook. So rook plays exactly as we said. I think you should take this guy, it makes a lot of problem. Or you should, yes, exactly right. I think we could play this perhaps, unless you're having a better idea. Yeah, there might be a check coming with rook e1, but not a checkmate. You can just move the king, maneuver the king around. Okay, knight wants to readjust himself a little bit. Maybe he wants to moving this. Absolutely superb games here. And there is a bit of a bullet taking place. 5 seconds for Duda, 17 seconds for Arjun here. Knight g3, exactly as we suggested. That's exactly what happened. So knight wants to come on h5 and attack the bishop on f6. That's for sure. For sure. It's definitely an idea. There you go. There you go. So rook can't take here because the bishop is hanging, but now they can take b2. You're going to defend? No. He traded, thus deflecting the rook. Bishop. Beautifully, the bishop here. Check. Not a checkmate, though. It could be a perennial move unless you choose a perennial check, perpetual check. Oh man, they play bullet again. I kind of enjoy it, but I'm also feeling a little bit sad because they have to play in just 2 seconds something. And I know from experience that even the strongest on the planet with 1-2 seconds on the clock, you're going to do something regrettable, something sloppy. Very difficult. That black pawn on the h file coming down pretty scarily, this guy here. You can't move the king closer. It's really scary. You gotta take this guy straight away. The rook now protects these guys if you want to move them. He goes in this way. King can attack the black rook. But Arjun won on time again, yet again. I am so sorry to seeing these beautiful matches and games being concluded due to time issues. I am really sorry. It's just crazily frustrating for instance, for Arjun here. We can debate but definitely the game can continue. The engine says it's a draw, so he's not supposed to be losing. And guys, look at the level of their accuracy. 95% accuracy, 67 move, and a lot of bullet chess that took place. These guys are insanely talented, well prepared, and phenomenal. Okay, we're gonna call it a day, guys, for the time being. I do aim to coming back to covering Alcantara Jose Martinez versus Hikaru Nakamura. I do want to cover that fabulous clash. So thank you very much for watching this. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on other social medias, and I'll see you guys sooner than you think. Thank you very much, my friends.